Hello and welcome to this week's episode. You have me, Lauren Fields, your host, all to yourself. We haven't met yet, welcome to the Fieldswell podcast. I'm really excited for this episode because it's something that I love to do and focus on. And despite the fact that I finished grad school in 3 days, that I have a gown on my bed right now to wear to a holiday party tonight, that I'm leaving town next Tuesday to go to my best friend's wedding in New York. What's most important is that I am here recording this now because I need to get this episode out to you guys in time so you can implement what we're going to talk about, because it's all about how to close out your 2024 and prep for an amazing 2025. And I think it's important to be intentional about how you want to go into the year and what you want the year to look like, as opposed just to rolling through the holidays and then waking up in January of 2025 and being like, okay, what's next? What are we going to do with this year? So I'm going to start with cleaning out space, whether it's your bedroom, whether it's your office, whether it's your car. Any sort of space that you spend time in, I want you to cleanse this space, to organize this space, to clean it out, to throw away papers you don't need anymore, to donate clothes you don't need anymore, to get the junk out of your car, whatever it may be. It's really important to get this space looking like you want it to look like in the new year. Because when you have a perfectly clean office, the drawers are cleaned out. Even think about your laptop. Your emails are cleared out. There's not a desktop with all these random documents on it. You're creating space for the new. And what I would guess is that we want to attract newness in our new year. We want to pave a clear path for what's to come and be ready to welcome and have space for what's next. And so I think the most important thing to focus on as you kind of wrap up and put a big red bow on this year is to clean it out so there's space for what's to come next. Clean it out because when you clean out your environment, you have much more space in your mind and you're much more at peace because you don't have all these loose ends, all these papers all over the desk. I'm looking at my cups of pens right now and there's a comb, there's a lighter for candles, there's scissors, there's highlighters, and it needs some tidying up. There's a hole puncher, there's a stapler, there's papers on my desk. Yes, I'm in finals mode, so I'm giving myself some grace. But let me tell you, this office will be looking spick and span. So when I return from my New Year's trip, it will be to the races 2025. Let's go. Also, think about taking inventory of what you actually need and if items you're holding on to, if they're still serving you. It may be a good time to purge and let go of some things you've been holding on to for a long time. One of my mentors is Jesse Itzler. He is married to Sarah Blakely, who founded Spanx. And Jesse Itzler is a wonderful public speaker, coach, and he has this thing called the Big Ass Calendar. I just invested in it, and it is going to be one of my secret weapons for success. So this is step number 2, is to think of your plans for 2025 and lay those out in advance so you can get an idea of what your year is going to look like and get excited for some of the events you have going on in 2025. You will block off important dates like travel plans, goals, schedule time for, say, rest and creativity. I'm a huge believer in planning ahead. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we have cleaning out and clearing space. We have organizing your calendar for 2025. I'm going to link this big ass calendar because I think it would be so fun for you to have as well. And then number 3, I'm big on vision boarding. So think about what you want your 2025 to look like. Whether you want to start focusing on a new hobby, whether you want to get in shape, whether you want to embody a new energy, whether you want to spend more time cooking, whatever it may be, whether you want to crush it in business. Let's find images and I do this on Pinterest. I go to Pinterest and say I search yoga, or I search Paris, or I search CEO, or I search public speaker, and I print images of all of these things and I glue them onto a big poster board. Mine from this year is framed above my bed. And let me tell you, many of the things that I put on that board at the end of 2023, getting it ready for 2024, have become a reality. What happens with the vision board is when you put images of what you want to attract into your life, it programs your subconscious mind. So now your mind knows, okay, this is where we're going. This is what I should try and figure out how to get there. Let me start to pay attention to things in my environment that would help me get there. Wow, this person is showing up. No way. What a coincidence. She is connected to this other business that I was looking to work with. Wow, how did that happen? And perhaps you wouldn't have noticed the synchronicities or the connections if you hadn't already programmed your subconscious mind by spending time making a vision board. So, big believer on this. I use Pinterest, print the images out, glue them on the poster board. I frame it in a gold frame that I get on Amazon and I hang it above my bed. I look at it morning and night as a reminder of where I'm going and what I want to attract in my life. Another thing that I love to do, so this will be number 4, is I love to pick a word for the year. My word for 2024 was action. So whenever I'm hesitating on something, whenever I'm wondering what I should do, I just do it. I take action. And that has been such an amazing word. We spend so much time waiting, wondering. We don't have time for that. Who knows how long we're going to be here? And so let's go after the things that we want in life. Action was my word for 2024. I have not set my word yet for 2025, but I have a couple weeks left to do so. It's really great to have a word to base your decisions off of whenever you're wondering, like, I need guidance, or like, what can I fall back on? Like, remind yourself of this word, whether it be success, whether it be love, whether it be gratitude. These are all really powerful words to embody in your next year of life. And it's really exciting to pick a word to live by just for 365 days and see how many new qualities and how your awareness changes based on this word that you choose for yourself. Okay, we talked about the big ass calendar. We talked about the vision board. We talked about the word. We talked about some winter cleaning and clearing space. The next item, we're on number 5 now, is going to be writing down your goals for 2025. There is a statistic that says that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write that down. 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. Having goals is great, but if you don't write them down, you're much less likely to achieve them. So for number 5, writing down your goals. This will give you clarity and it will also give you power. It's really amazing what seeing your handwriting on paper does to your brain. And once you write them down, step further would be, how can I turn this goal for the next year? How can I break that goal down into steps? How can I break that goal down into actionable steps that I can start taking? How can I put that in my calendar that I'm working towards XYZ? I'm pulling out my goals for 2025 just to give you an idea. Some of my goals for 2025. I want the Fieldswell podcast to help more individuals. That means growing it. So we're going to start doing 2 episodes a week instead of 1. I want to open my coaching practice in San Diego. So opening the Fieldswell headquarters is another goal. I would like to learn French. I'd like to travel to a few specific destinations that I haven't been to yet, such as see the cherry blossoms in Japan. So these are just a few different examples of goals for the new year. When you write down these goals, I want you to write them down as if they've already happened. So not I want to sell $1 million of product, or I am going to sell $1 million of product, right? I sold $1 million of product, or I traveled to Japan. I have a podcast that is ranked top 1% in the world. When you write it as I already have, it makes your brain confident that it's already happened and it is more likely to become a reality. Okay, we're on number 6. We're going to go back to Jesse Itzler because I actually sat through one of his planning strategies to gear up for a new year 365 days ago and he talked about having a misogi, or a life-defining event to look forward to once a year. So for example, I want to go and hike the Himalaya, something that I did a couple of years back. That was a yearly life-defining event. Or I want to give a TEDx talk, something I did last year. So think of something you want to do in 2025 that will be your life-defining yearly event, and put that on your calendar and start planning on how you're going to do it, what that looks like, when you're going to do it. And this should be something so big that it changes the way you see yourself. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. It's a life-defining event. So number 6, add a life-defining event to your list of plans or goals for 2025. Number 7, I love doing this. I did it last year. I wrote thank you notes to everyone who made a meaningful impact in my life that year. This goes such a long way. Handwritten notes are something special and something that you rarely get. And so make a list of everyone in your life who was a really special part of your year. Anyone who you would want to send a thank you to, anyone who you would want to send some love to. I order on Amazon like 50 to 100 blank notes that just say thank you on the front. And I write a short personal note to whomever I'm sending it to. And I include, if I have a photo with them from that year or even an older photo, I'm going to link this for you. It prints many Polaroid photos at home. I print a photo with that person and I put it in the thank you note and I mail it off, and I ensure that it gets there ideally like right before Christmas time. And it's a kind, small gesture that goes a really long way. When you do business with that person in the future, when you perhaps need something from that person in the future, they're going to remember that note you sent them. They really are. To close us out, we have the cleaning and clearing space. We have the big ass calendar. We have the vision board. We have picking a word for the year. We have writing a list of your goals down. I do a full page, probably like 20 or so goals, big goals that I have. Could be more, could be less, depending on what you're working on. We have adding your life-defining event or misogi to that list. Thank you, Jesse Itzler. We have thank you notes, sending handwritten thank you notes to those who made a meaningful impact on your year. And then what I think would be great is if you, to close it all off, wrote a list of the things that happened this year that you're really grateful for, and maybe some of the things that you're not so grateful for that were very difficult for you, but maybe what you learned from those things. Try and put a spin on it so you're back in control of your story and not in victim mode. I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing, amazing holiday season. This episode is airing on the same day as my grad school graduation party. So I'm so grateful for you tuning in. I'm grateful for this year and all that it has held to be true. Sending you lots of love. And let's get excited for what's to come in 2025.